After 8 days travelling east, it's time to go back down south. Guess who's completed day 30? I'm halfway there. Way. 30 days. Who would have thought a month had passed so quickly? In fact, the last 2 weeks have absolutely flown by. I wasn't really sure whether or not this journey would go quickly or be a battle the whole time, but it's split into half so far. The first couple of weeks was really tough. The last couple have been really good, have been beneficial in so many ways, physically, mentally. I'm feeling good right now. You're here with me at Caroona Creek Campground. I got in here last night at the end of day 30 after a very windy day. Right from the start, it was hot, it was dusty, it was windy, it was in every way not great walking weather. And when I got into the Caroona Creek Conservation Park, things didn't get any better, except for the views. They were great. So as soon as I got into the park, the Heysen trail jumped into a creek bed, a dry creek bed, that followed its way through massive hills. It's amazing how quickly the scenery had changed from green paddocks, grassy fields, canola, wheat, barley, to barren, red dirt. Even the animals have changed. So instead of sheep, I had goats. There's quite a few emus running around. The bird life had changed as well, but the wind did not. So I got to about lunchtime and I sought refuge in a little hut that is partway between here and the Mount Bryan East School, and it was a little godsend because the place was being buffeted by wind, fierce wind. My hiking poles had stopped supporting me and were now keeping me upright instead of being blown into the bushes next to me. It was that windy. So I stayed in there for a couple of hours hoping that the wind would stop. It did slightly, ever so slightly, and so I got the courage up to keep walking, and it started up again, and it even started raining. And I'm the other side of the goiter line, so to have rain in this section is quite rare. So that was even a bigger surprise until I got to here. So basically turned into a hot, flat, blustery day into a cold, grey, almost wintry type weather within the space of a few hours. And when I got to here, I really needed to use the facilities. Thank God there's a toilet here. And then when I got out, everything had changed. The clouds had parted, the sun was setting, everything was golden, the skies were all sorts of colours. I know it sounds like I'm harping on about the sunsets over these journals, but this one was the best one for the trail, maybe even the best one I've ever seen, certainly the most surprising, because after the day I'd had, I was not expecting that. It was heavenly to finish the day that way. And then I made it back in here to the little shelter they've got and collapsed and fell asleep. So I've spent the morning thinking about the first half of the journey and going through a bit of reflection on how far I've actually come to get to this point. And I do that actually quite regularly, particularly when I'm climbing steep hills, because you've always got a ways to go, but if you can acknowledge how far you've come, it will help you out to no end. So I still know I have another 30 days to go, but to know I've completed the first 30 in relatively good time, for me anyway, not being a morning person, I'm I'm really comfortable with where I'm at and where the journey's at. So I've got a few days until Burra. I'm tossing up whether or not to just charge on through one of the campsites that I'd planned to stay at and spend an extra day in Burra just to give my hip a bit of a rest because it was playing up again, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. Until then, I will catch you